So the Acolyte. Remember the Acolyte? You know, the show that was conceived, written, directed by former assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland? Well, the Acolyte is back in the news. And this show just will not go away. Poor viewership, poor writing, poor acting, poor pacing, lesbian space witches, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Well, there wasn't many that really watched this show. But there is a rather vocal minority that wants to see it come back. Well, got news for you folks. The Acolyte's not coming back. Not coming back anytime soon. If at all, if ever, which is a good thing. So here we have a story over at Screen Rant by Thomas Bacon. The Acolyte's cancellation addressed by Disney exec 4 months later. Remember, right shortly after The Acolyte ended its run on Disney Plus, there wasn't a big announcement that it had been canceled. In fact, it was rather I would put it a soft cancellation. And you can understand why. Just look at the score on Rotten Tomatoes. People didn't watch this show. The critics liked it. Of course, the critics liked it. It aligned with their political beliefs. But to the average, everyday Joe Schmo, or as some like to call the normies, it just didn't resonate. So here's what Alan Bergman had to say. Well, first, let's step back a second, because in this article here, it starts off, Disney exec Alan Bergman addresses the Acolyte's cancellation some 4 months later, finally explaining the decision. Leslie Headland, personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, or I should say former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, the Acolyte was officially canceled back in August, leaving a cliffhanger ending that will presumably only be explored in tie-ins going forward. Now, that same Alan Bergman, co-chair of Disney Entertainment, responsible for overseeing all of the company's content creation and platforms, has finally addressed the cancellation in a 2024 roundup with Vulture. Quote, "We were happy with our performance, but it wasn't where we needed it to be given the cost structure of that title. Quite frankly, to go and make a season 2, that's the reason why we didn't do that." So the Acolyte was canceled because it was too expensive to make for the viewership that it got. It's not rocket science, folks. It's real hard. It's economics. It's 101. You can't justify a $200 million TV show when it's not drawing eyeballs. I mean, it's been reported the advertisers aren't happy with Disney Plus. They think they've been sold a bill of goods because the viewership numbers aren't there. So what does that mean for Star Wars? Well, the comment will no doubt raise concerns about Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is estimated to have a cost of about $136 million. And viewership for that show is also low, at least from what we can see, what we can tell. I think they just released episode 3 of the Skeleton Crew this past week. Skeleton Crew didn't even make the top 10 of streaming with its premiere. But there's positive word of mouth, meaning it could still perform better in the long term. Only time will tell how this will play out. So it's real simple. If you're going to spend $180 million, $200 million on a show, which ironically is usually what a budget of a major motion picture for Marvel or Lucasfilm is, if not higher, then you got to have the eyeballs. You got to have the viewership. And one thing I've been saying on this channel for quite a while, since I started posting content almost, it's been nearly 3 years. Start in 2022 or 2023. Might have been 2 years ago. Is that if you tell a compelling story and you don't push an agenda, you'll draw eyeballs, which will justify a higher budget or more budget for a show. This is from Joe Blow. So with The Acolyte out, how hopeful is the studio for Skeleton Crew, which is halfway through its first season? Skeleton Crew is in process now, so we'll see. We've seen some growth on that. We'll see how it goes. As you said, the reviews have been excellent on Skeleton Crew, so we'll have to see how it all plays out as it moves forward. For comparison, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for Skeleton Crew is a strong 80%, while The Acolyte was less than a quarter of that, hitting 18%. Skeleton Crew will conclude next month. So there you have it. The Acolyte officially canceled. So for all you out there that were whining and crying and moaning and complaining and bitching about how we need to have a second season of The Acolyte, it's just not fair. Ain't gonna happen. So what do you guys think about finally getting some closure to The Acolyte? Comment down below. While you're at it, please take the time to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks for watching, and with that, I will see you guys